Hello, all of you Vaingloriously wonderful people, and welcome back to the city of Vainglory. This is going to be the series finale. Wow, that is so much traffic. I remember putting a tunnel there. Obviously I did, and it's quite a steep one. We've come to the end. That's why we're kind of just sitting on a few extra cinematics right now. The city is around 210,000 people. It fluctuates between 205 and 210, which is a good sized city. Sometimes it makes money, sometimes it loses money. I think it all depends on how the sports teams are doing. I think that really is what it's coming down to at this point. But we've come a long way with this city. It's been one of my most ambitious projects yet. It's a beautiful town. I absolutely love it. I'm gonna miss playing it. I wish I had a lot more plans for this map. There's one of our newest areas. I had a lot more plans for this map, but it just, it's just the game engine. I don't think was designed to run this many mods with this many citizens. I just don't think it can really handle. We're almost up to 211,000 people. So we did get everything finished off over here. This is all running just fine. I accomplished the goal with industry. We are no longer, well, we're importing a single good, but we're exporting a ton, and that's fine. I'm fine with exporting. I just don't want to import them because it creates a lot of extra traffic that we don't need. So all of our commercial is getting taken care of. This is about our only big traffic hotspot. Traffic otherwise bounces between 80 and 85%. Occasionally this gets backed up, and occasionally this gets backed up, and this gets backed up sometimes. But other than that, traffic seems to be doing all right. Okay, well, we have a new place that gets backed up now, but whatever. We don't care because none of that is our priority today. Our priority today, you may notice there's this bus/ferry exchange here. We're going to do a little bit of work with that. And right over here, we're going to work on all of this, make this a little bit better as far as how everything flows together, like with our train station and all of that. I did go through and just connect some roads so there were alternate paths. I think I already had this connected. I'm not 100% certain. But now people can, go from there to there without having to go down through the city. They can take this bridge. This highway is seeing a lot more use now, bringing people through. But I just want to kind of make this look a little nicer over here. This is our final project. Essentially, I want to get this positioned with a kind of a ring road around it, I guess would be the right word. And go from there. And maybe have some offices and some things that are kind of supporting this, a little bit of tourism, maybe a bit of residential, but not a lot, simply because things take forever for the zoning to work. So what I want to do is grab a couple things here. I grab that, and this. And I want to bring all of that to be right up against this street and kind of centered. It doesn't have to be perfect. I think that would do nicely. It looks pretty much even on both sides. I know we made a mess out of this road up here, but that's okay because we're going to fix it. We're going to redo all these roads. So yeah, that should get that to a good spot. So I'm going to pause real quick because we're going to be doing a lot of infrastructure work here. And I don't want to delay our launch any more than I have to. I'm going to get rid of this because we're probably going to bring the train in a different place. So now I want to kind of kill this road and keep that one and get rid of all of this. Because first thing I want to do, just come in, grab this, and just temporarily extend it out. And then I want to come in here with the touch this mod, click that road, and then we want to get a nicer road in here. Like that. And then we want to just bring this out. And we'll delete anything that's left over. I think we can go right there. Nope, we can go right here, though. I was hoping to get right up against that fence. What's it going to look like on this side? So I can get right up against the fence on this side. So what we might do is now pick this thing up and actually physically move it and get it right up against that road. And then see if maybe we can't get a little closer down here with this road now. What if I anarchy it? What's that going to look like? It is right up against that sidewalk, and that is what I wanted. I know that a launch center is not going to have such a nice, pretty road, but in this game, this thing, you know, functions as a tourist attraction in addition to being, you know, a functional space center. So, kind of gotta play the cards you were dealt. So we're gonna do that. We're gonna turn anarchy back off, and then I've got this tunnel that brings people in over here. That kind of, I think, needs to move a little bit. Let's see if we go out straight. I know I just deleted this road. I'm kind of thinking of where I want all of this to come together. Like this road over here. Obviously, we still need a way for them to get off of the highway here. If I just go straight out, like that, or actually to there, then what we could do is kind of swing this around. Like, my grids not on? They are. We could swing this around and then in at a 90 here. That's close to a 90. We can make it a 90. I have the sniffles. Let's get rid of that, and that. Let's do just a straight stretch right here of 10 and then work out how we want this to work. So kind of like that. I mean, it's twisty, but it works. I think it'll work fine. And then I want to, for now, get rid of my train station and the line that I built here. And I'm thinking I kind of want, I don't know, I kind of want this tunnel to come over here, but maybe that's not the best solution. Maybe we just bring the tunnel and have it just hit this road. I know I keep deleting that road and then putting it back. There's a 180. Like that. We could do that. That'll at least give us some slightly different, or a slightly different grid to work off of. I'm not sure what all we're going to put here in front of it. I've thought about putting in, gosh, I don't even know where the thing is. Is it here? There's like another shuttle somewhere. Maybe it's here. And I thought about putting in like the space shuttle launch site, and make it almost look like it's more of a museum, because I don't think it actually does anything. You know, that's like, you know, a museum too. It never launches. It says it's a launch site, but I thought, you know, that could be kind of a cool little monument to have over here with that. I've also considered unlocking everything for the space elevator to bring tourists in over here, but there's a lot of stuff I would have to build to make that happen. I mean, we've got the money to do that, so we might. I'm just not 100% certain yet. So if I then bring this road here, it can curve into that. So if I now come out here to about right here, yeah. And then we should be able to get in here pretty straight. Yeah, cool. And we can upgrade that last little bit. And then we've got two different ways in and out of this area. The next thing that I want to look at, and I don't know how easy it's going to be to do. So I really want a metro station, but yeah, we're right by the water here. So what we might need to do is just come in on just one side with our level tool. Bring that size up just a little bit and just give ourselves just a bit more space to get a metro station in here. Oh, it's still sloped too steep. It can go there, so that's good. So what is different about there? Looks like we've got a little bit more land over here. So let's just bring this up a little bit more. Well, no, it looks pretty good. Let's just bring this all the way out here. There we go. And then, oh, I see underneath it is not level. So we can level underneath this as well. I think that may have been our issue. So we will, no, still slope too steep right there. That's where I really want this to be though, is right up against this. So let's just play with it a little bit more here. See if we can't get it convinced that indeed we can build a metro here. Because as long as the pier is clear, it doesn't really matter how much actual land is underneath the building here. We just don't want the boats crashing into, you know, dirt. There we go. That's where I wanted that to go. So now this temporary line that I have running from here, we can kill. This was always meant just to be a reminder that, hey, I wanted a metro to run out here. That's all that was ever for. Let's see, where does it terminate? There, we can leave that going straight. Let's go back from here. There we go. I don't think I accidentally took out anything else. I did not. So we'll pop this back underground. So we're going from there to there. So I can probably just do a straight shot. If I can get it to grab it. Yeah, it'll go right under that one. That's nice. It's low enough. And then for over here, we just need to turn on our freeform tool and then get this to kind of come up near our tunnel. It's having a problem with something here. What are you having a problem with? So well, I'm not trying to build it on water. I'm trying to build it underwater. What's wrong with you? I'm not trying to build it. That's not on water at all. It's underwater. All right, so we'll go here. Line that up and then see if we can't get a straight shot across now. It still says cannot build on water. It must not be low enough. All right, well, if that's the case, what we can do then is as this comes off of here, that's not at all what I wanted to do. As this comes off of here, we can go like right to here and then just lower this thing down pretty deep. And then that should get us under the water. Really? No? So too steep. What is going on? Cannot build on water. Look, I'm not trying to build on water. Seems like this thing is causing us problems. It like went up and then goes back down. Yeah, it's trying to create a tunnel that comes out. Now it's a slope too steep. I ran this over here before and didn't run into any problems, so I don't understand why it's having an issue now. So if we go here, like that, and then go straight, slope too steep. Why? Why is that slope too steep? What if we bring 2 ends and try to connect 2 ends? Maybe that'll work. It's gonna work, so we're gonna turn on anarchy and make it work. There we go. And then what we'll do is just take a quick peek. Okay, I see it. Part of it was wanting to pop up, but whatever. We won't even really see that. Yeah, you can't really see that. So that is fine. That is just fine. So this should update the stops here, I think. Or was that just an express train? No, it did continue going through. There we go. It's figuring it out slowly but surely. So as one of the trains comes through, it will figure it out. So let's get some water going over here again. Let's click the right button in order to do that. So as usual, we follow our roads, because that's just where water pipes belong. So we'll bring that down to right about there. And then we will bring this down this loop road. And then right back up. And that gets that taken care of. And then we're going to have a bus line. We're going to have a couple bus lines over here. One is going to service just this place. It's going to go here. It is going to come back in here. I'd really like it to make a right-hand turn there and come in. I don't want it to go back that way. That's really silly. All right, so what if we do this? Why would you do that? Why is that how you want to do that? I mean, I get that it comes out that side and all, but can the bus not make a left? All right, well, that's fine. We'll just put it on this side and we'll put a crosswalk in to either side of it, and that will work. It'll be okay. Actually, I would like it to be, yeah, right there, right by our subway terminal. And then once we get some other stuff over in this part of town, we will be adding in more things. So I know that was really descriptive, wasn't it? Let's go into roads, and then I want to switch the type of road we have. Just a basic, There we go. Come off of here. Why are we underground? Why are we looking at roads underground here, guys? Come on, go. Why are we looking at this view? What's going on? There we go. That's fine. So maybe we just have a T-junction here, or maybe we hook the train in and just put it on this over here instead, or have a road coming off of this. I just want train tracks. That's all I want. I just want train. That is all I want here. This is a 2-lane road. Yeah, we're gonna have a T-junction here. That's fine. We can have a T-junction here. So we'll bring this to here. That is not at all right. Ooh, and I made a mistake just then. Hopefully I'm not gonna pay for it. There we go. You always want to shore up your roundabouts and make sure they're gonna stay round. This is just being weird. Maybe if we can get that. See, that node is popping up in a really odd place. Oh well, that'll be fine. So I just want a 2-lane road from here. Yeah, 2-lane road from here. I know I didn't sound very confident about that, but that's what I want. And actually, I just want a 2-lane one-way road here. Just a basic one. I don't want it to be the normal industry road that we normally use over by freight terminals. There we go. And then we can put the freight terminal right back here. Simply because this is going to be a tourist area, and I don't want it to be... I mean, it's not going to be a huge tourist area, but it is going to be a tourist area. So since they'll be passing in and out, I didn't want this to be one of the uglier roads. So we can just bring our rail line back quite a bit. Part of this was here from the beginning, and now it's not. So we get this to curve in, or actually, where it starts getting away from the road, I think is going to be our better place to do that. Can I look at topography while I am laying railroad tracks? I can. Maybe we bring it down here and bring it along the road. Because otherwise we're going to have issues with topography, I think. Well, let's see what happens. See what it looks like if I do it this way. So I want it to come into about here and then come up and around. But what is that going to look like? Yeah, see, from our topography standpoint, that's doing bad things. So let's bring this back just a little more to where it's at a place that it is level with the ground. Even that's not level with the ground. All right, so let's go back into this. All right, so the map creator did not respect the topography. That's part of our problem. So we're going to go here, and then we're going to bring this up to 0. And then this is going to come out at a fairly substantial curve here, but to about right there, and then connect up. And that should, yeah, that's fine. That's fine. So we've got a one-way system for the cargo terminal, and we just need to get some water over here. And this could also be a place where we can get some of our city services kind of tucked out of the way. Things like our fire coverage, and we're going to go big over here because we are going to have some larger buildings in this area, though I am going to do a high-rise ban. So that should get us covered for police, and that should get us covered for you know, the other thing. So I think I'm going to leave this area open. We make kind of a park out of it. So this should now, once again, resume getting supplies. We will eventually have buses over here. And of course, this metro, we never put stops on. So we need to do that because it has indeed updated its path. So just come here, drag a stop, and add a stop. And then what we need to do is come over here to our ferry boat line. I just want it to come off of this one. I want to just bring another line in off of that dude. And then I want to bring a line in from over here. So I might do, if it'll let me, something like this. Let's get this. Here we go. So come up and under and find a way under our bridge here. Maybe over here and turn right here. And bring this in. But now that's going to get in the way of the blue line. No, not necessarily. However, it is really close to that, sure. So what we can do is just bring him in like that, and then this one can come in like this, just to wherever it'll get over there by that blue line. And then I just want like a little shuttle. I know there's a metro right here that they can get on, but I still want them to have the option to use the ferry boat. And then we're going to do another line here to here and back. And that'll give us 2 ferry lines. However many boats it wants to throw at it, I don't care. So far, not getting any riders on any of this. We do have a slightly larger gap between the road and the facility, and I kind of wanted it that way. If I were going to detail this, I would have benches and maybe a little path and just some nice stuff to shield the backside of this so that when you get off, you see it, but you don't see it. You know it's there. But you really want to get on the bus and come around and see it. Speaking of, our buses are in play. So cool. What I didn't do, however, was a bad thing. Get rid of that. Select types, biofuel. There we go. And 3 buses on that line should be plenty. I think it will be more than one bus on that line will be plenty. It's 1.5 kilometers long. So I just want a little bit of just a tiny amount of stuff over here. Not a lot. Just to make it look like there is, you know, a support structure or village or something. I don't even know what you would want to call it. Just something that makes this not just be over here all by itself. And also, we do want a couple hotels over here since this is a tourist destination. So we're going to do a lot of that. We're going to do a high-rise band, though, so they don't get too tall. You know, that gets water there. I am going to leave that whole area empty. Going to get the roads in. We're going to do... how do I want to do this? Let's go here. No, let's go here. And it's, no matter what, it's not going to be perfect. So whatever. We're going to go 15 and 10. And we're just going to do a little grid right here real quick. Just real fast. Right up to... That's fine if that's not an exact grid with the rest of it. So I'm going to go 15 more. To there, and then I am going to do 15 more because we also want to have a bit of residential out here just to support all these jobs that we're about to build. As you can see, we have a pretty good residential demand right now. And that's it. That's our town. I'm not doing any more than that. What I just realized, though, is we do not have death care out here. I'm going to add that in. That will be enough to support all of that. And then we will bring this down here. If I was going to continue expanding, I would probably build a lot more tourism type things on our little inlet here, or our, marsh. We could probably do some cool things there, but at most are going to get a fishing pier. Matter of fact, let's give them a fishing pier. And we give them a floating cafe. There we go. Give them a floating cafe there. And then on this side, you can go fishing. That's going to be too far from the road, though, isn't it? Yeah, it's complaining about road access. All right, cool. So the last thing we need to do then is come in here, throw this all into a district. Not the prettiest painted district ever, but it works. And just go out over this way and probably right to there. I do want to shield the highway just a little bit, or shield this from the highway just a little bit. So we're going to do that. Bring all of that in like so. And color all this in. Let's go with the bigger one. There we go. That should be fine. And then let's go ahead and run this over this just so it overlaps at the edge of the road. Because sometimes when you have a high-rise band, if you don't use, or if you don't get the tiles that are just past the edge of the road, sometimes it will ignore your zone. So here in Victoria Park, which really needs a better name, but whatever, we are going to do a high-rise band. And then I don't know, will this even work though, to do this as tourism with a high-rise band? We're about to find out. So tourism, there we go. I have no idea if this will even build anything. So I want all of this to be commercial, but I don't think it's going to build because of the high-rise band. So we may have to undo the high-rise band on this side. Yeah, see, it's not going to build anything. And then on this side, I just want a short row of offices. Just for some extra jobs and, you know, make it look like we've got some support networking over here. And then the rest of this, I want to be a mix of housing. So we're going to go high rise to there, and then we're going to go there, and then we're going to bring all of this out as low density here. And we will bring this out like that. And yeah, they actually can build hotels and things, even with a high-rise band. Cool. So because this, takes so long to build up, I'm going to do like I did last week and give you guys a bit of a time lapse. And once this gets built in a little bit better, I will be back and we will wrap up the series and talk about what comes next. So let's go from this view so we can see the ferries and the buses, and it also lets us see stuff develop over there and over here. I think that's a great view. So see you once this all gets built up. And an hour and 20 minutes later, this thing finally has all of its materials that are required for construction, but it's not quite done with launch preparation. We're going to end the video with this launch, but this area grew up quite nicely. I had to do a few changes while things were running, put a couple pathways in for people to get across, and it is helping. We've got people utilizing this one a lot. These get used occasionally. This one's getting used fairly well. One thing I'm really proud of is if we look down here, very few personal vehicles. Very few. I mean, it's taxis and buses. So it's kind of nice. That is ideally what I wanted to see. I wanted to see that my mass transit was moving a lot of people. We went 234 through our metro station and 367 through our ferry and bus exchange stop. So good numbers. We've got 3 lines. We've got the route we put in that just is the loop. We've got a route that goes over here to our commercial area, and then we've got a route that comes over here and services this area. I also added in just some warehouses to hold all of the things that this requires. That way the trains could come more frequently, fill up these warehouses, and then the trucks just have to go out from there to there. I mean, it doesn't save a lot of space or a lot of trips, but with the trains coming in more frequently, bringing in everything from our industry sections here and then the other ones that are just spread throughout, like we have some oil here and we have our ore over here. So it all helped. And this will be a good place to kind of do a recap. We have our Willow ore section of town that's out here all by itself. We've got a kind of upscale residential here and here. We've got commercial with some, or we've got industrial with some commercial and residential. Big residential area over here. And then, of course, our trade college and all of its associated stuff. And then we've got the ore industry that kind of is just spread throughout this whole area. And then we've got this area over here, which was kind of the second big phase of things that we did. We have the oil industry that got put in near the end. We've got a little Walnut Park over here, kind of its own little town that services the national park that gets so few visitors. Of course, the national park has the what's this thing called? Cable cars that takes people up and down, which gets a lot of use, but it seems like people are just using it as a way to get across the mountain, not as a way to come to the park, unfortunately. But it's okay. And then we have a couple little small industrial areas here just to support all of this and all of this over here and these guys. Another big industrial area over here by our farm. This was kind of our first, this was our second industry that we actually put in, was the farm area. And then we built out all of this. We've got the second island that we moved into. Middle Park kind of came after this area, and then we jumped across the river, built out all of this. This is all just residential and commercial and offices, with our very first school that we built, Two Rivers University. All three of our campuses are at 5 stars, which is quite nice. They all have some sort of sports as well. And then, of course, our very first area was over here in Cherry District. This was our starting square. Right here, you may remember all the times we dealt with just traffic nightmares right here. It's all fine now, even though I haven't really changed much. I wonder why there's not anything zoned there. Well, we have a little bit of commercial needs, so let's zone it. I think a bus stop or something used to be there, and I kept moving it around. I think I kept moving this thing around, and that resulted in stuff being left unzoned. But, well, it's zoned now, so it'll grow in eventually. And of course, we've got our botanical garden right out over here. This is the area that we've built most recently. Still has a bit of traffic on it, but overall, our traffic in the city is looking really, really good. And then, of course, the Cedar District that we built, the big, huge industrial area. This houses, we've got our oil here, more ore here, farming here, and then forestry here. And then it supports all of the various factories. We've got them all, and for the most part, they stay stocked, and they keep cranking out supplies. I've got so much material, I could probably crank those all up to 150, and they'd probably all run just fine, and maybe make us a little bit more money. And then, of course, we built out this area to start supporting all of this industry. And then we had this as kind of a tourism and residential area, and our university area over here with a lot of offices and things back here that we had to put in after we put in the Eden project, because of the way it kind of rebalances the needs of everybody. Everything upgrades fully. You get a ton of people moving in, and you suddenly get a spike in unemployment when you build the Eden project. And of course, that's where our Highland Institute of Social Sciences resides. So all in, I'm very proud of our Vainglory city. It's been almost a year that we spent working on this, but I'd say it's definitely been worth it. In the future, we will not spend that long building one city. I've got plans to kind of adopt an editing style similar to what you see on some of the other City Skylines channels, where we kind of lay out some basics and then let things zone in and maybe do some speed builds, with a time lapse, instead of just going moment by moment through the game. I think will be good to do that. So that wraps it up for Vainglory. I'm just going to wait for ChirpX over here. Oh, by the way, we did put in some buildings that look like they could be owned by ChirpX. They're kind of like support structures. They're all tourist destinations. But there's the software development studio. There's the semiconductor plant, a robotics institute, a nanotechnology center, and a research center. They all kind of, even though they've got their own unique architectural styles, they all look like they could very easily be supporting, you know, interplanetary travel. So that is why we've got that over here with ChirpX. Once this is finally filled up, we'll launch this thing, and that's how the video will end, with a bit of a launch, and then we'll roll into our normal outro screen. So until next time, I'm Brandon, reminding you to stay vainglorious.